what I'm going to do today is fix a problem. And that problem is a problem that quite a few people have with the E39 M5. And that is, when we change our oil, we like to do things to spec. So we make sure to torque to spec our oil plug drain bolts. And in doing so, we strip the drain bolts. Welcome back to Artworks Garage, my YouTubing friends. Today I'm going to give you a little more BMW E39 M5 content. My M5, which is sitting up there at the moment, and oh, let me show you something exciting. I had new HJS tuning 200 cell high flow cats put in by a local welder, and they used some stainless steel, and the welds look really nice. But that's about all I have to say about it. I think it maybe looks good from afar, but if you look at it from the front, perhaps this side here is lower than the other side. They almost touch, if not they are touching. So I don't know how I like that. I paid about $850, $900 for this, and I just, and this is the second time they did it, because I was not at all happy with it the first time they did it. Anyways, I have had this oil draining for well over 24 hours now, and look at that, there's a bolt missing there. I wonder why that bolt is missing. But anyways, what I'm going to do today is fix a problem. And that problem is a problem that quite a few people have with the E39 M5. And that is, when we change our oil, we like to do things to spec, because we as BMW E39 owners are very particular people who own very nice cars and want to take very good care of them. So we make sure to torque to spec our oil plug drain bolts. And in doing so, we strip the drain bolts. It is idiotic why this happens. I don't know why. Now I find myself in a position where I have an engine that is continually leaking because of the stripped drain bolt, and now I have to fix it. And what I've chosen to fix it, the Time-Sert. And the Time-Sert's a really nice kit. It comes with 4 of these steel inserts. So essentially you're drilling out with the drill the aluminum threads in the oil pan itself. You're countersinking then for the flange on this flange right here on the outer edge, and then using a tap with a guide, and then installing the insert with an insert driver. So really nice kit. This kit cost about $100, so they're not cheap at all, but well worth it. And I may resell this when I'm done with it, because I only need to use 1 of the 4 inserts, so I could easily resell this to somebody who can use 1 of the 3 leftover inserts, and then resell it to somebody else who can use 1 of the 2 leftover inserts, etc. I think that's a great idea, so I might do that. But let's get going on this. I don't have a whole lot of time. I haven't been procrastinating, I just have not had the time to do this. And you don't have to do this by removing the entire drain pan, but I don't want to get any shards of metal in the drain pan. Practically brand new engine, which is still leaking on the floor. It's still leaking about 36 hours later. So it should be well drained at this point. I'm gonna throw this drain plug just to stop it from leaking everywhere. Now it's already stripped and I can feel it stripped. Let's get this pulled out. So I have the oil pan out. I took the drain plug back out and cleaned the inside of the oil pan. I think I will clean this better maybe tomorrow when I can get some brake clean. But right now, I'm gonna go ahead and drill this out. I don't know if you can see how badly that is stripped. I don't think you can, but it's a mess. I cannot for the life of me believe why BMW would. So anyways, step one. I'm gonna try to drill this as straight as possible. These are what you don't want to get inside your oil pan. Step two. Step two is to use this countersink, and you just want to use it until that tooth gets to the second step there, at which point this should stop cutting. And this kit does not come with one of these tools that you need for tap and die. So if you got a tap and die kit, you will need one of these. I don't have one big enough to fit this, and I was only able to fit this tap by kind of hammering it in here. So the tap I'm going to do carefully by hand, but this I'm going to have to figure out how to do this one. So you need to do this until it will cut no more. This will stop at the depth of that second step in this counter bore. So I'm going to call that good and double check with a flashlight. That appears to be at the top, and oh yeah, that's great. That is great. Okay. Step 3. We are now going to tap the hole for the insert, and we are going to use this guide. This guide will place flat against the surface to keep this straight, and then we'll just easily start this. Make sure it stays flat. Okay. Ooh, look at all that. That you don't want in your engine. looks really nice. It looks great. And so now it is time for step 4. We're going to install the insert. So you do not need any sort of Loctite or anything like that. So I'm going to be a little bit anal and over engineer as I do, and I am going to use a white PTFE compound, basically a Teflon coating, which will prevent any leaking and also act as a thread locker. Now this doesn't need a thread locker per se because the insert tool will in fact lock the bottom threads on this. So I'm just gonna make sure this goes in properly. Here we go. Now that is almost fully seated, we are going to use the insert driver. The insert driver requires oil. It says in no less than 3 places that you need to use oil on the insert driver. So let me get a little oil on the insert driver. Now they say this gets tougher and then gets easier. And where did my tool go? So at this point it's gotten a little tougher. Let me now install my tool. This fits just fine. There we go. It's getting tougher. And now it's getting easier again. And basically what that does is it pushes, it expands the last few threads of the insert so that it seals in there nice and tight. And there we go. And the installation is the reverse of removal. This actually comes with a copper washer and a new oil drain plug. The old oil drain plug is not bad, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that. And mark my words, I will never, ever use a torque spec for the drain again. Period. That's all for today. At some point, you're probably going to have to replace the oil pan or do a Time-Sert, but this is a permanent fix. If you liked this video and it helped you out, give me a thumbs up. Do consider subscribing. Check out all of my other E39 content. I've done a host of videos completely rebuilding my E39 from the bottom up. Everything with the exception of the interior. So do check out those other videos, and we'll see you next time on Artworks Garage.